Um, Item 1 is Tribal EPA Clean Act 103/2021. Item 2 would be EPA General Assistance Program. Three, CERCLA CER CLA 128, abbreviation A, Tribal Response and this Brownfield Program, Cooperative Agreements. We have an EPA grant for the Water Quality Specialist Environmental Protection Program. We also have I might have got those twice. Did we get those all covered? Joy, Teresa? The added ones that needed to be added? Because I might have printed the water quality ones twice.
There should be 4. You've got those correct.
Okay,
There should be 1 for air, 1 for brownfield, 1 for gap, and 1 for water.
okay. That's 4. And so there was 1 for Mary Painter.
No, Coley, I talked with her, and so she's gonna do some things before she comes to council. Some things she needs to exhaust first.
Okay. Is there any other items that needed to be added? No other added items? Is there a motion to approve the amended agenda?
Motion to approve, Mr. Chair.
Second.
There's motion by Mal and a second by Eric. Discussion? No discussion? Is there any objections? No objections. Motion passed 7-0-0. We're on to reading of the minutes. First item, number 1, May 4th, 2020, regular tribal council meeting minutes. Motion to approve. Can I get a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Eric, second by Tori. Any discussion? No discussion. Is there any objections? No objections to approve regular tribal council meeting minutes, 5/4/20. No objections. Motion passed 7-0-0. Number 2, May 5th, 2020, special tribal council meeting, election code.
Move it.
Motion to approve by Tori. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Eric. Discussion. No discussion. Is there any objections? No objections?
Coley, I had a discussion item on that one.
Okay, go
Um,
ahead.
I thought it was gonna say maintain primary residence rather than just maintain residence.
Uh-huh. Is that a correction is that a typo? Do we know if that's just a typo?
What did the motion say that was passed?
Which part was that?
Shoot. I think that one was to be eligible to vote. I believe the motion was to just, it said just to maintain a residence within that 6-month period. But after we had closed the meeting, I had sent out an email stating that I would have had liked to have seen it say maintain primary residence, but nobody kind of responded to it, so. I don't know if we can revote to add primary on there or not. Because if you leave it like that and somebody has a home off the reservation here, and as long as you pay your bill, you're calling that maintaining a residence. But maintaining your primary means that you are actually living here in the home for that 6 months. And that seems to be a problem that we run into when others live off the reservation and don't really live here, but yet they claim it and then they get to vote.
Says be a bona fide resident of the one reservation in Nebraska.
Chairman,
Yes,
I actually agree with Thelma, but it's not the appropriate time to make that change. We're just approving what happened. So I think that would be another discussion at another time, aside from approving these minutes.
okay, good.
So that was, yeah, that was my kind of like question too, is if we can change it now, or do we have to make another, do we change it again? Or can we do it now? I don't know.
Before we approve these minutes, that those changes have to be addressed before we approve these minutes.
Yes, that's what I'm getting at.
Chairman, approving the minutes is just approving what happened. Making changes to the minutes that didn't happen would not be appropriate. But we can handle that at a different time. We just need to approve what happened.
Yeah, we're here to approve the minutes. I agree, we can't amend them right now. Is there any more discussion? Is there any objections?
I object.
I'll object.
I object.
Call for the vote. All in favor of approving, council meeting, election code meetings, May 5th, 2020. All in favor?
John,
Mal,
Three yes?
Four.
No? Colin? Thelma? And Eric? No abstentions? Motion passed, 4-3-0. Item 3, for the minutes. May 11th, 2020, land meeting, monthly land meeting. Was there a motion to approve?
move it, Mr. Chair.
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion by Mal, second by Thelma. Any discussion? No discussion. Any objections? No objections? Motion passed 7-0-0. Thank you. We move on to ratifications of our 5 signatures. Item 1, adopt resolution 20-129, fiscal year 20 AIAN summer program supplements. Is there a motion to ratify?
Move it, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Tori, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Eric.
discussion, Chairman.
Discussion. Go ahead, John.
I think it would be beneficial if we had Joy just kind of give a quick rundown of each 5 signature for our membership, so they can be well informed of everything that's happening.
Okay.
Joy?
Yeah.
Give us a briefing on this.
Pardon?
Give us a briefing on these.
Each one will do. The first one on the agenda is the summer program for out at Educare. And that will provide funding to support so that the kids can be ready for kindergarten. The next one is their Head Start has a special funding that they do on a regular basis to address COLA. And it has a little bit of an exception that doesn't follow what the tribe's regular personnel does, but it's a mandated piece by Head Start. So it's an ongoing thing that they do, and that covers the cost of COLA, which is the, got to remember what COLA is, I'm sorry, cost of living allowance. The next one we have is for the,
Joy,
pardon?
Joy.
The
we'll
next one?
approve these- Joy.
Yes.
We'll approve these, then you can give a brief description of what these are, okay? After each approval.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay,
there's a motion by Tori, a second by Eric. Is there any more discussion? Questions? Any more discussion? Any objections? No objections? Motion passed 7-0-0. Number 2 is a resolution 20-130, fiscal year 20 Head Start AIAN supplement, COLA and quality improvement. Is there a motion to ratify?
Second.
There was a motion by Louis, second by Tori. Discussion? Okay, Joy, can you give us a brief on that?
the next one is Resolution 2131 for fiscal year 20 for USDA Winnebago Corona Aid Recovery and Economic Security.
Joy, I'm sorry about that.
Yes,
Okay, you already briefed us on number 2
yes.
ahead of time, so we'll go, hold on. Is there any objections? No objections? Motion passed 7-0-0. Okay, item 3 is resolution -2131. Fiscal year 20 USDA Winnebago Coronavirus Aid Recovery and Economic Security Act project. Is there a motion to ratify? Hold on, Joy. Is there a motion to ratify?
Second.
Tori?
Yes.
Tori and Eric. There's motion by Tori, second by Eric. Discussion? No discussion. Any objections? Motion passed 7-0-0. Go ahead, Joy. Item 3.
Okay, yes, the USDA one is for the tribe to apply for equipment type and capital improvement type costs that would support our food distribution program. And in that, we are looking for example to fix the roof so that we know that the supplies that are received are kept in good condition. It also includes replacing the existing freezer and refrigeration systems in there. They need to be updated. I believe they have a forklift that they were looking at. I believe there was to replace their current vehicle that they use for some deliveries. And I think that's the most part of what's in there, but it's all pretty much just equipment. There's no staffing or anything like that in there. It's only equipment.
Okay, thank you. Item 4, ratification number 4 is approved COVID-19 paid sick leave and expanded family medical leave policy. Is there a motion to ratify?
Ratify.
Make that motion.
Eric made the motion. Thelma, you second?
Yeah.
Discussion? Is there any objections? No objections? Motion passed 7-0-0. Joy?
This one is a policy. I did not present this one, but it is to align with policies for use of the COVID funds so that we have all of our things in order to use COVID funds as appropriate.
Okay, thank you. Item 5, approve MOU with Atlas Food Pantry Worker and Food Pantry Coordinator job descriptions. Is there a motion to ratify?
Make a motion to ratify.
Second,
Motion by Eric, second by Thelma. Discussion? No discussion? I believe this is ours. The Winnebago tribe has the MOU with our Atlas program. Shift some shift some of the COVID money over to this program to supply food and create a food pantry for our community dealing with this pandemic. Discussion.
Correction.
Correction,
Chair.
go ahead.
For the record, please. So that our membership is aware, to make a clarity on this. One, Atlas Food Pantry already exists. So we're not creating another food pantry. We are doing a MOU with the current food pantry on the Winnebago Indian Reservation. The MOU is in a working document so that the Winnebago tribe of Nebraska can work with this nonprofit on our reservation with the CARES Act funding. We've bolstered the program with some of this CARES Act funding. The tribe will oversee that funding and the release of that funding, working in conjunction with Atlas. Make sure that the food items are being purchased and then stocked, and that we support every part of their program and to make sure that our membership has access to these food items. That's all I got, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any more discussion? Any objections? No objections. Motion passed 7-0-0. Item 6. Approve CARES Act Round 1 budget. Is there a motion to ratify?
Motion to ratify, Mr. Chair.
Motion by
Second.
Ron, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Eric. Is there any discussion? No discussion. Is there any objections?
I object.
Okay, call for the vote. All in favor to approve CARES Act Round 1 budget? Please say yes. Corey?
John,
John?
Aye.
Eric? Colin, did you say yes?
Correct. I did say yes.
Okay. Louis?
Yes.
No? Thelma? No.
Yes.
You voted yes on that, okay? Sorry about that. That'd be 6 yes, 1 no, 1 no is Thelma. There's no abstentions. That motion passed 6-1-0. Item 7, authorize general counsel to draft a public health code, including infectious disease section to be incorporated into the Winnebago Tribal Code.
Move it.
Moved it by Tori,
Second.
second by Eric. John, can you give us a briefing on this?
Yeah, sure. So what's gonna happen is, general counsel is gonna work on a public health code, to do with infectious disease that's gonna be permanent within the Winnebago Travel Code. It's gonna be there, always for us to use whenever we need to use it, and it's gonna help us with enforcing quarantine and taking other measures that we might need to take.
Thank you, John. Discussion,
Discussion, Mr. Chair.
go ahead.
I don't disagree that there could be some enhancements to our codes with our judicial. My questions are in regards to what this code going to do. Are we looking at fining our tribal membership for not adhering to our current curfew hours? And if so, what is that fine going to be? That would be one question. The other question is, if we have repeat offenders, what and do we intend to do? How are we going to handle this situation? Are we going to incarcerate them? And then thirdly, if this member or any of these members, God forbid, that any of them come under this COVID-19 virus, but should any of them be infected with it, then how are we going to handle that? So these are questions that I have in regards to this code enhancement. They need to be clearly defined and worked out. Otherwise, we're going to create more problems for ourselves going down the road with this. I'm not saying that we shouldn't do it, but I want to make clear to this council is that we're going to have to address all of that, because that comes along with it. We're looking for order. We're looking for accountability. I agree that has to happen. I'm not saying that it shouldn't. But these are the things that we're going to be faced with once we go into this. Well, it would be perfect if everybody would just go along and be a good relative and stay home and follow the guidelines, but that's not happening. It's not a reality. So I just want to be able to address this, openly, transparent, and have everybody's input so that we can all put our heads together and come up with a real comprehensive plan that benefits the tribal membership. And the objective of this is clearly to protect the members. So I just want to bring that to our attention, and then hope that we can address that with our legal when we go into that. That's our legal, our general counsel, our judicial, and our law enforcement. So that's going to be a 3-prong. We have to have input from all of these people, these entities, when we address this code, in my opinion.
Chairman,
Yes,
I would encourage all tribal council members. Those are good questions, Roland. I think they're valuable. But I would encourage the rest of the tribal council, if you have those kind of questions, that to bring them forward, to get send them to our chairman, and then he could forward them to legal counsel. So when this code comes for our consideration, it could be in the best form, and that all of our questions and concerns would be in there and would be addressed in there. And I would hate for it to come up for consideration, and then we didn't deliver our questions or deliver our concerns in the beginning, so it can have been dealt with in a good way. Thank you, Chairman.
Better. Yeah, thanks. Thank you, Ron. Thank you, John. My comment is, this is probably one of the first things we should have been doing, but you didn't hear the government talking about laws and codes. First thing that come out is budget and money, and that's kind of how we went too. But now we're learning, and we'll learn, and I don't have the answers for those things to speak for our people, and we can't make them stay home. We can't abide by what we request and what we want and what's good for our people. But we are learning. We learned from this. And let's hope there's not another round coming up this winter, Hope it just goes away. Louis.
I have an idea. When they leave the hospital and go into quarantine, or if they at home, the survivors, they sign a document. If they violate that quarantine and go into the community, the tribe will have the right to notify the police and publish their picture in the paper, so the tribe will know that that individual shouldn't be riding on the bus, shouldn't be going out in the community, shouldn't be hugging them or doing things for their own safety. You put the onus on the individual that's violating the law.
Thank you, Louis.
Chairman?
Yes.
Okay, I think this is important that we get this drafted up right away. Because like I said before, our numbers are rising. We have a lot of people who are positive and they're out in the community and they're infecting other people. So they're not taking it upon themselves to stay home, and we're concerned about our tribal people. So if we can just give your input to general counsel on this, and the other judicial in the court, of course, and the PD, they all need their input on that. So I'm in support of this. Thank you.
Any more discussion?
I have a comment. I just want to say that thank you everyone for your comments, and as this is going along, we're learning where we can improve, and listening to some of the membership I've been in contact lately, they're really devastated by some of the impacts that it's having on them, and the more that we can come together to make these and enforce them, it's those most vulnerable elders and some of our diabetic patients that are being impacted. And so I'm really thankful for Danelle and her team, who are trying to stay ahead of this the best they can, but we can support them, and this is a way that we can support them. So thank you.
Yep. Yeah, now we now have whole households that are quarantined. We talked about that. We didn't want that to happen and stuff, but next week might be interesting when they get that mass testing. People might say, realize they haven't, didn't even know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't have any answers for this. Just hopes and prayers, that struck us hard when our membership took it hard and started passing away.
Mr. Chairman, can I mention that, what you just touched on?
Yes,
Coley and I, have, at our last board meeting, we got an update that, the Winnebago tribe and also, the Omaha tribe, are both working on mass testing, events. And that's, tentatively scheduled for June 8th, and the logistics and information is gonna be coming out soon. And so people that have symptoms, and also I believe people that are asymptomatic and don't have any symptoms, are gonna be allowed to be tested, and that'll really, be able to show us where we're at. And one of the things that I've heard people say in the healthcare field is that if you can't measure it, you can't manage it. And so this is going to be a really good event for us to figure out where we are with this, so that we can stay put and protect the rest of our relatives.
thanks, Barry. Any more discussion? No more discussion? Is there any objections? No objections. Motion passed 7-0. Item 8, adopt resolution -20-132 approving amended and restated tribal election code. Is there a motion to ratify?
I'll move it.
Motion by Tori. Is there a second?
Second, Chairman.
Second by John. Discussion? Item 8, does anybody want to give us a briefing on this? On the election code? Amendments we made?
I don't have it in front of me right now.
Yeah, this packet's got 94 pages.
Chairman, I can touch on it a little bit. These are the changes that we made on the 5/5/2020 special tribal council meeting on the election code, and that was a live streaming code, our meeting for our membership. So I think everybody's kind of aware of all the changes that we made as we discussed them in a public fashion.
It was voted on, and all eight existing tribal council members, including chairman, voted on that. So that ratification passed 8-0. Just for a little information. Is there any more discussion?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Mr. Chair, in regards to this restated election code for a purpose of clarity for our membership, I would recommend that we read those restated changes that we made at a future date, so that it's clear to the memberships what was amended. That way we're being transparent with what we're doing, so that the members are aware. And the vote's already been done. We all agree. I just wanted to make it clear to our membership. That's all I got. Thank you.
Okay, we'll put those changes when we put the minutes in the paper. We will try and add those restated codes that we did, okay? Is that all right? Number 9, resolution -2133, approving amended and restated Brooklyn Blood independent contract agreement for judicial services. That ratification failed. That motion to.
We
that
did.
failed.
I just don't think we voted on it yet.
It was up for DocuSign ratification and it failed. If I can get to it.
Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair. You're muted, sir.
Hey, Chairman, this is Garen, and the thing, we had a glitch happen. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
We apologize. I think with all the streaming going on in other parts of the nation, there's some glitches that happen. We just experienced one, so we're coming back online here. We muted all microphones because we were getting feedback, but it seems to be working now. So I'll turn it back to you, Chairman.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, go ahead.
Before we move on to number 9, I had a bit of confusion, and perhaps you could clear this up for me so that I'm clear on this. On this restated election code, did we vote on that to ratify that, or did we skip over that?
We voted on that.
Who made the motion and who seconded that, please?
Which number was that on?
That was 8.
That was number 8, Chairman. I made the motion and John seconded it.
For my record, thank you very much.
And we did mention that we will add those changes, those restated changes in the minutes. For item 9, the approval, disapproval request form to approve amended and restated Brooklyn Bud independent contract agreement for judicial services failed with a vote of 4-4. Melton approved, Victoria approved, Louis approved. Thelma disapproved. Eric disapproved, Roland Warner disapproved, John Snowball approved, and Chairman voted to disapprove. Discussion. Any comments?
I have a question, Mr. Chairman.
Go ahead.
Was there an issue with that judges services, or what was the problem with not approving?
Issue with the judge's services?
Hey, Chairman, this is Garen. It seems that we lost Mal. I just wanted to make sure that he turns his camera on.
I'm still here.
Okay, he's still here. I'll just double checking. Sorry about that.
Okay. Move on to number 10. Adopt resolution 20-134 approving assistant prosecutor contract. Ingos, Ketchum, Olson, Keith, and Connor Orr.
I'm sorry, Coley, did you guys ratify number 9 yet?
No. That failed.
Resolution failed, but are you gonna ratify your 5 signature?
Ratify. That ratification failed 4-4. You asking to re-vote on it?
No, you need to approve what you guys signed off on. Cause you're basically approving what you guys all did by 5 signature.
Okay. Item number 9. Is there a motion to approve, non-approving to
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion. Is there any objections? No objections. Is Mel on?
I'm here.
Okay. Motion passed 7-0. Item 10. Resolution 20-134. Approving assistant prosecutor. Ingos, Ketchum, Olson, Keith, and Connor Orr.
Move it,
Is there a
Mr. Chair.
motion to ratify? Who was that
Mel.
now? Is there a second?
Second,
Second by Louis. This resolution is approve assistant prosecutor for a tribal court. Any discussion? Is there any objections?
So, you named out individuals, right?
Yep,
So once this approval goes through, then we make those selections. Correct?
Mr. Chairman,
yes,
it was my understanding that the resolution was to approve the contract for those individuals. So Roland, that's what I signed for. That was my understanding.
it, on the agreement, it has Connor W. Orr as contractor. I'm not sure, but I would think that would be out of that group of people who would be, we would be contracting basically with, but I'm not sure. Do we need more clarification on that?
Mr. Chairman, that
Yes.
first part might be the name of the firm, everything before PC.
Yeah. It does say on one of the item E in there, if contractor is unavailable, another attorney employed by Ingalls, Ketchum, Olson, Keith may serve as assistant prosecutor. So I do believe they are all kind of all involved, but Connor would be the main, would be number one. Any discussion? Is there any objections? No objections? No objections? Motion passed 7-0-0. Item 11, adopt resolution 20-135, Indian Community Development Block Grant, CARES Program, Imminent Threat. Is there a motion to ratify?
So
Move
moved.
it.
Louis and Tori. Discussion. Joy?
This particular grant is to the Housing and Urban Development Office for the Indian Community Development Block Grant under their imminent threat as it's related to COVID. And we wanted to move forward with this to assist with the costs that we're incurring on the construction of the halfway house. This will not be a new project. It will supplement the funding that is currently committed in the project. We are concerned that there could be inflationary costs and other costs associated with that project, and this will help alleviate that. We're not changing the price of the project or anything like that. This will simply assist from that perspective. Additionally, and more importantly, this will allow individuals that are coming out of treatment to have a safe place to go. I've had some good conversation with both the manager and the supervisor of the halfway house to make certain that we are not using it solely as a shelter for COVID patients. This is still strictly a halfway house because we do not want to jeopardize the licensure that's associated with that. Also, the new building will allow for, if there is a need, and it comes to be that one of the residents would need to be in quarantine, that their bedrooms can be closed, and we'll be looking at how we include technology to assist those individuals to continue to interact in the programming that they need to do as a part of being in the halfway house. And so we're taking all the steps to protect those individuals and to protect the community at large should an individual that's already gone through all the treatment, that type of thing, and for whatever reasons comes down with COVID, that they're not suddenly on the street and potentially being infectious to other community members that are well.
Thank you, Joy. Thank you. Is there any discussion? Any questions? Is there any objections? No objections? Motion passed 7-0. Item 12, adopt resolution 20-136, approving the amended tribal hemp code. Motion by Tori. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mel. Amendments to the hemp code. Is anybody prepared to do a briefing for this?
I could say a little bit, it's been a long time coming. There's been a lot of work. We submitted our plan to the USDA. It came back, it was approved. And this is the next step in the process, put it in our tribal code. Thank you.
Thanks, John. The resolution point, the ratification was 7 for yes, 1 disapprove. Ron Warner was the only council member that disapproved of this resolution. FYI. Any more discussion? Is there any objections? No objections. Motion passed 7-0. Item 13, resolution -20-137, FY20 CDC supporting tribal public health capacity and coronavirus preparedness and response in Winnebago.
Move it.
Second,
Motion by Tori, second by Louis. Discussion.
I just have
Joy?
a comment. Raymond.
What?
I was just gonna say that I'm thankful for all the task force efforts, all the hospital's efforts, and our grants department on really trying to be strategic and look at the logistics on how we can maximize our opportunities with all this CARES Act and COVID-related funding. And there's a lot of these announcements come out, and then it takes our team to kind of be on top of them. And one of the things I heard yesterday on my stat call was that some other tribes don't have enough manpower to kind of stay on top of these deadlines. And I think that I just want to acknowledge our team for being very diligent in not only watching when these announcements come out, but being responsive, and then also for the tribal council being supportive to pass these resolutions. And that's all circles back into how we can help our community respond to this and try to maintain our health and wellness. I just want to say that because these things don't just happen. Other people are doing work, and hearing other tribes that have a really hard time trying to even meet these deadlines and asking for extensions, it really shows me how strong we are here. So I think I want to say that for the membership's benefit and for all the people that are working on this stuff. Thanks.
Yes. Thank you, Tori, for thanking everybody. There is a lot of work that's being done, and it's probably overwhelming. Thank you for that. Is there any objections? No objections? Motion passed 7-0. Are we on to the added items? Item 1 is the Winnebago Tribe FY 2021 EPA General Assistance Program. Joy, you want to give us a brief on that?
Yes, the first one that you're looking at, let me get it pulled up. We're looking at the AIR project. This is a proposal. It's an ongoing project that we've had with the tribe. There's a brand new staffing person. You'll see her name in your summary, or excuse me, yes, his name, Kurt Lyons, that they're bringing on staff that will be the project staff person for this. I believe they start with, if they haven't started this week, they'll probably start next week. And so this will support the management and overseeing of that. They'll be taking a look at drift and those types of things that come on for air quality onto the tribal property, as well as doing education and outreach activities. So that's the main piece around that, is doing training, monitoring what's going on, and then doing prevention and education. So we're, as a part of that, we're looking at air quality issues on how they drift onto the reservation as well.
Thank you, Joy. What's the resolution number on that, Thelma? New number,
20-138.
138. The motion to adopt,
Move it, Mr. Chair.
moved by Mel, is there a second? Second by Eric? Second by Eric. Discussion. Any objections? Motion passed 7-0. Second added item. Tribal Response Program, Brownsfield. Joy,
Sorry, I pulled up the wrong one. Let me grab that one. On the brownfield, this is the work that Victoria Gooden does. The work that's associated with this, it was key, for example, when we did the halfway house, in making certain that as that aged building, to determine whether or not it had asbestos or lead, and then as we raised it, to make certain that we were doing that properly and that we had appropriate resources in order to do it correctly. So that's the type of work that this project oversees. They also keep an inventory of any brownfield sites on the reservation and providing guidance. So that's the premise behind this one, and it does support one individual.
okay. No matching funds.
Correct.
Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Rollins, second by Mel. The resolution dash 21-139. Is it 20 or 21?
This
How
will
much?
be for fiscal year 21.
The 21. Okay. All right. Is there any objections? No objections, motion passed. 700. Number 3, 2021 Winnebago Water Resource Performance Partnership Grant.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes. Yes,
motion.
a motion by Tori. Is there a second?
Second.
Roland,
Yes.
Joy,
This one is our water quality project. We're doing some new things around data with that, but it allows us to continue to do the monitoring on primarily surface waters on the reservation. So it'll continue that work that's been in place for some time, and it supports one staff person. Do note that this particular project does require us to have a match, and so we are requesting, and I wanted to point out that the match is $6,298 on this particular one. One other quick thing, Coley, is I want to make certain that we did not miss the gap one. I thought that was going to be the second one. So I just want to make sure we didn't move on and miss it.
okay. $6,298 is the match for this one. Is there a motion to approve, adopt?
Make a motion to approve.
Second,
I thought I moved it in Rollins' second,
We
Chairman.
already did that, Mr. Chair.
Yep. 21-140. Is there any objections? No objections, motion passed. 700. Oh, gosh. Oh. Joy, what do you have that's next?
On my list, I thought you were going to do the general assistance project right after the air one. So I want to make certain we don't miss that one. So if
Okay.
you have that one in front of you. And I'll let you go ahead and do
Yeah, I
your
have it
motions
now.
and then we'll go from there.
Winnebago Tribe FY 2021 EPA General Assistance Program. $135,000.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to adopt resolution 20-140 Winnebago Tribe FY 2021 EPA General Assistance Program.
141.
141,
Okay,
is that 21 or 20?
That's for fiscal year 21.
Okay, 21-141.
no, we're still in fiscal year 20 though, so we're approving it in 20. The number would be 2141.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion. Any objections? No objections, motion passed. 700. We have one more. 2021 Winnebago Tribe EPA Clean Air Act, 103. Joy, is that next?
But you already did the clean air one.
We did that one. Okay, what's next? Or is that it?
That should do it. This last one that you just motioned on, that one supports the EPD, the Environmental Protection Department's manager. And so it oversees all of our environmental programs. And it also supports half-time our GIS specialist who is essential in doing a lot of mapping as we follow environmental issues that are going on and making certain that we have appropriate markings of where those are and anything else that comes up as a part of that. This work also helps support the community cleanup that we do. They oversee that as well as a number of other things.
Thank you. That is the end of the agenda. Am I correct? End of the agenda.
Yes.
I want to apologize to everybody. This really, I need IT up here to kind of give me a little support after this meeting. I get a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Mel,
Doing a good job.
who second? Eric. Is there any objections? Motion passed 7-0-0. We're adjourned at 10:23 a.m. Thank you all. Have a good day. Be safe.